the property.
All right. So Jack, I'm hearing you, but you're muted. Okay, no, we're good. We're good, Jack. All right, guys. Well, top of the morning. For the people that have never been to group coaching, welcome to group coaching. This is a positive environment, judge-free environment. We are here to learn, and this is all about the collective wisdom, right? You will hear me say that until I'm blue in the face and I am retired in this business. We are as good as our team. We are as good as this environment. And so I want to start it off, Jackie boy, I'm going to have you take us out on the field today. Jack's been coming to coaching for a few months now. So Jack, I'm going to have you take us out on the field and let the new people to coaching know what to expect in this environment.
Yeah, for sure, guys. So, hey, we're at hump day. We're halfway through the week. So let's get through it. Let's power through. So what you can expect out of coaching as that what I've been through is that, helps motivate you for the morning, and it will, gives you a lot more insight what other people have to think and say and stuff. And so I think it's really insightful, and it's very learning experience.
Awesome. Love it, brother. Love it. Love it. So thank you all for being here. We do have a couple new guests on the line. So our hope is that you here's the thing, you guys, I always say, if you can take one thing out that you can apply in your business each week, 3 times a week, then you're constantly growing. You're constantly growing. Somebody said, I think it was Tony Robbins, I was listening to a podcast, and he says, knowledge isn't power, right? People say, well, knowledge is power. No, knowledge is potential power. Knowledge is potential power if applied. And so I love that you guys come to these sessions, but now it's all about the application. You guys, somebody said the other day, like, you're always trying to hype people up. And I tell you what, you guys, I'm on an absolute rant right now, and I want to be straight up with everybody on this call today. I am on a rant, and my rant is to bring out the absolute best in each of you. That's my rant. All right. And so if it sounds like I am constantly trying to move the needle in this company, I am. But how do I do that? Is I keep you guys aware of what you are committed to creating in this business. This is not about what me and Kenny want for you guys. We always want the best, right? We see the world for you guys, but it is our job to support you in the journey to where you're already going and help to remind you, what are you committed to creating in this business? Sometimes we speak all these things, but then we don't back it up with behaviors and standards and action. So it's like, do I really have the right goal? And we're going to talk about this. So Kenny said the other day, and he brought this up, and I thought this was great, and I wanted to have this conversation, or at least bring this up today. Do you guys remember the topic of choose your hard? You guys remember when we talked about that the other day? Give me a reaction, give me a hand up. So I went further into this. So there's 2 types of pain that you guys are going to deal with in life and in business. And let's have this conversation. The first is the pain of discipline. The second is the pain of regret. Let's talk about the pain of discipline. When I say the pain of discipline, what do you think that I'm talking about? Or what do you think, what comes to mind when I say the pain of discipline? Kelly, let's go to you first. Let's talk about the pain of discipline versus the pain of regret. What is the pain of discipline?
Consistency, the pain of consistency, like doing the hard thing over and over again, especially when no one's watching and no one's documenting you do that hard thing. Totally.
But what's the reward?
Everything. Success, pride in yourself, not like an ego thing, but like, hey, I do this, I do it over and over again. And it makes me feel good about myself and about the journey that I'm on.
Totally. How many people have ever done leg day at the gym? How many people 2 days later, because of DARMs, delayed active response muscle, whatever that thing is called, can barely walk or can barely get out of bed, right? But is that rewarding to your body and rewarding to the way you look, rewarding, hey, my thighs are looking good, my calves are looking strong, right? There's a huge reward to that, right? All right, so let's continue this conversation. So Kevin, let's talk about the pain of discipline. What are some other ways to describe that? What are some of the pains of discipline?
Yes, there's physical pain and then there's mental, right? So just the constant grind of, getting up every day at whatever your 5 a.m. and that wears on you, right? But then get, 2 to 3 weeks in, you'll seek that reward. It'll become normal, and your new routine will be set, right? And I think they always say, like, do something for 2 weeks and it becomes a routine, right? So there's the mental side of this thing as well.
Totally. Kevin froze on us, but what he said was, I totally agree with. How many people, because we're always on the go, sometimes find it challenging to eat healthy? Just be honest. Is it challenging sometimes, right? But what comes from the discipline of you guys eating healthier, right? The benefit of that discipline is that you are not gaining weight, you have more vitality, you feel good, you look better, your skin looks better, you don't feel sluggish, all those things, right? So there's a pain because, yeah, goddamn, I love sweets, right? So it's like, gosh darn it, I want that cake so bad, but I'm going to pass on it because I would rather have that pain of discipline versus going back 5 years forward, going forward 5 years forward and be like, damn, if I would have just not ate all those things, right? Like, look at me, my health is so out of whack right now because I made the wrong choices. So this is good stuff. Let's talk about the pain of regret, you guys. We've all had this in our life. This happens to all of us. So let's hear from somebody. When I say pain of regret, what does that mean to you? Who wants to take that one? I want to have a conversation around this.
Elias, I know you're a big reader, and I love that about you. One of the best books I ever read is a book by a lady named Bronnie Ware, The 5 Regrets of the Dying. Are you familiar with that one?
Say the book again.
The 5 Regrets of the Dying by, I think it was Bronnie Ware.
No, but I'm gonna write this down though.
Yeah, she was a hospice nurse in Australia for like 12 years. So her job was strictly to take care of people in their last few months or weeks of life. And she would interview them and ask, hey, what do you regret the most? And she summarizes her findings and writes a book about the 5 most common regrets. And it's just super powerful. And I've said this before on calls, like we always talk about like the pleasure of something, and it would be nice to own a house and it would be nice to have a 6-pack, but we're not willing to put ourselves to, there's pain for not doing the things that you said you were going to do. You will get sick, you will get unhealthy, you'll never own a home. So we always try to convince people to do something because it would feel nice, but we have to be comfortable reminding ourselves and our clients the pain of what happens if you don't do the right thing and do it soon. So super powerful for me.
Love it. Cynthia, how about for you? I know that you're driving as well, but I know you probably have some really positive insight on this. Let's talk about the pain of regret.
To me, it's like FOMO, kind of the pain of regret, right? Like, damn, I wish I would have done that. And like, I mean, the biggest thing I think especially for a lot of us is regretting not coming onto Team faster, like getting together with folks that are like-minded and shit like this. It's incredible. Yeah. Does that help? I don't know.
No, it totally helps. And it's, your insight, all of you guys' insight is always positive. Let's hear from one other person when we talk about the pain of
Elias, I can say something. It's Steffi.
Please go ahead. Steffi, right? Is that
Yeah.
you? Yes, let's go.
So I'd say pain of regret is you beating yourself up. You have that woulda, coulda, shoulda, and just goes in your head over and over and over again until you do something about it, right? And then you can't go back sometimes. You just have to keep moving forward, but the memory of it just keeps lingering in your head.
Totally. So there's a lot of things, like someone said, Cynthia said about joining the team earlier. I regret I didn't make those calls. I regret that I didn't follow up with the people that I needed to follow up with. I regret that I didn't launch this plan that I had in my mind for years and years and years. And now I don't even have that motivation to do those things anymore. So Pamela reminded me of this, and I'm glad that I wrote this down this morning. It says that you won't always hit your goal, right? Remember this. I want this to hit home for you guys. You won't always hit your goal, but you will always hit your standards. I want you to think about that for a minute, right? You will not always hit your goal, but you will always hit your standard. If Pamela's standard is to say, you know what, I'm going to ride X amount of miles. I'm committed to this. I'm waking up early. I'm eating healthy. I got an accountability partner. My husband's going with me. I have a social page. This is my standard that I'm losing my way because I refuse to live my life unhealthy. And I want longevity for my family, for my grandbabies, for my kids. That is her standard. So she is going to hit her goal because her standard is that there's no way, shape, or form that I'm not going to do that. I got some chills right now talking about this. So remember that you're not always going to hit the goal, but you're always going to hit your standards. If you guys have the right standards, the right action, the right behaviors, the goal is just a byproduct of all those things, right? And I want you guys to really wrap your head around that. It's not about just setting a goal. It's about setting fucking standards in your life about what you will and what you are committed to accomplishing in your life and in your business. That's it, you guys. I wrote that down and because I thought that it was really powerful. And then Ernesto said something about reading. Don't hope that good thoughts are just going to show up in your mind every single day, right? Reading is how you're going to really catapult yourself. And here's why. You could read a book. Let's take the new book by, I think, Grover. It's called Winning. How many people have picked up that book? All right. So Kenny has picked up that book. Here you are, decades put into a book. How many days can it take you to read a book? Well, if I apply myself, I could read that book in a week, maybe give or take 2 weeks, a month at the most. Now, what I've done is I've taken the lessons from somebody that has comprised that information in a month, 2 weeks, a week, however long it takes you. And so I'm learning quicker. And I wrote this on my notes today. It says, when we learn by our own experience, it could be painful and slow. You could take decades, pack it into a day and say, you know what, wow, those are things that they have learned and compiled from all these great people that they've helped work with along the way. I can take nuggets out and put those right into my business. Right? So that's why I read. That's why I read all the time, because I want to be able to learn from everyone else's, right? I'm 41 years old, you guys. I don't have the next 10 years to learn all the things that I want to learn. I can model, right? I can model and I can learn from all the other predecessors that have already paved the way and have learned these things. So reading is something that I highly, highly recommend. Feeding your mind with those constant thoughts every single day. You guys, Tony Robbins, I cannot wait to finally see him and meet him in August. And this event means more to me than most will ever know. Peak states don't just arrive. We got to demand that of ourselves every single day. This is what I'm going to feed my mind. I remember reading a book when I was 19 years old, Psycho-Cybernetics. It's your mind is a mechanism. What you put into that, you control that operating system that your mind is working on. Right? So you are constantly feeding it, constantly feeding it, constantly feeding it. So when I feel like I'm giving my best, when I'm at a peak state, I don't just think or hope I'm going to be, I demand this shit of myself. All right, Jen, I just need 10 minutes. I'm all prepared. I got my notes. Nobody talk to me. Nobody look at me. I'm ready. I'm focused. I'm going to hit record. We're going to get into this, right? That's how I feel every single time when I'm on stage or when I'm in front of you guys, because it's important. Peak states don't just arrive. You have to demand it of yourself and be cognizant of how you're thinking, how you're feeling at any given time. Be able to like, you know what? I'm going to pull that lever. I'm going to give myself a whole different direction. So I'm really, really glad that we're having this conversation. Anybody like to chime in or say anything based on the things that we said to me? And go ahead, my man. And dude, how is that beautiful baby doing?
Oh man, she's doing well. Just keep praying for my wife's rest.
That's right. We will keep praying for her rest. So Demian, go ahead and take the mic for a second, brother.
No, I just wanted to chime in on the part about achieving goals. I just started reading Atomic Habits, one of the books you recommended. And that's what it talks about, not focusing so much on the goals, but the habits that you set on the way there, and more so changing who you are and how you operate as opposed to just focusing on a goal, because you can accomplish a goal, but after it's accomplished, what did you take away to keep on achieving after the fact? So, you know, that resonated again with what you were just talking about to what I'm reading in the book right now.
Love it. You guys, if you haven't got that book, I swear that book is a game changer. And the way that it's written, as soon as you start getting into chapter 1, chapter 2, you're like, it grabs you. It instantly grabs you. I know we've all read those books where it's like, it's kind of hard to get into. Atomic Habits, it's like, it just socks you right in the teeth right away.
Instantly, yeah.
Instantly, right? It just hits you. So good stuff. Who else has some thoughts that they want to chime in? Feel free to take the mic for a second. And don't be shy this morning.
Hi. it's Amy. I just wanted to say about regrets. How I think about regrets, we all have a past. We've all done things that maybe were not the best, put us in the best light. But every morning you wake up, it's a new day. So you can just start over. And sometimes when I'm overwhelmed, I take things day by day. And I don't regret the past because it happened. You can't go back. You can't. But you can look at the past and change the way you behave in the future. So that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Who else, you guys? I think there's some really good thoughts going here. Let's stay on this for a minute. Who else has some insight or something they would like to share? Feel free to take the mic for a second.
I was going to say pretty much the same thing that Amy just said, that I don't have regrets. I kind of look at the past, look at the situations and see what I can learn from it. How can I be better the next time? But never a regret. Just learn the lesson, be positive, work harder, keep it moving.
I love that. I love that. Jay, you raised your hand, my man. Please share your insight as well.
Hey, guys. Again, what an interesting coincidence that we're talking about this. Just last night, I didn't know this until it was verbalized by you. I was feeling the pain of discipline over the pain of regret. And let me explain this. Amazingly, I've gone from having not much in my pipeline to I'm doing 18-hour days regularly right now. I've got multiple clients I'm working with all over the Bay. It's amazing. I'm not saying it's out of there's no like ego here, super humbled by it. It's also like, holy crap, it's a good thing I've been working on having systems to be able to be disciplined to take on this workload, right? It's amazing. And last night, I just didn't want to do it anymore. I have these clients who are in a low price point and have been looking at some, funky houses in the Richmond, East Oakland area, which is awesome. It's just also reports that are frankly shady that I'm reading, right? And it's also for me an hour drive. So it's a lot of work to be doing showings and reading hundreds of pages and be like, yo, this roof has so much mold. I don't know if you can even live in here, right? And last time my client's like, yo, we want to put an offer on this house. The agent had put the disclosures up Tuesday, offers are due today, right? So in less than 24 hours, I have 300 pages and I can't skim it, right? I've got to be there for my clients. And last night I was literally like, I don't want to put an offer on this house. I just don't have the bandwidth for this, right? I didn't even realize what the F I was saying, which is I don't want a paycheck because of the work. It didn't even occur to me it sort of did. I was just like, I'm up to here. I've got a live listing. I've got some other stuff going on. It's amazing. Dealing with the personalities of the vendors for the listing has been like a new learning experience. And just this morning, as we're talking, the client emails me, too much going on with the property, we're going to pass. And I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what's going on, is the pain of discipline versus the pain of regret. If I just said, look, let's not do it, whatever, I can't handle this, it's too much. A week from now, it would dawn on me, what did I do? I was not there for my clients. And they could have just said, you know what? Our agent's not serious. He doesn't want to do the work for us. He's not really our fiduciary. Let's find someone else. And how would I be able to wake up every day not feeling that regret?
Man, you know what? I love that. And it's not about this transaction. Yeah, this might have been a hard grind. We know that price point's a very difficult price point, but who do they know? Where do they work, right? Who are they influencing in their life? And how many referrals could I potentially get from this, right? And I thought about this morning when we were thinking about generational wealth, but also generational influence, right? Who am I going to be able to influence from this one opportunity that I had at 499,000, which is a low price point? Who cares? Who am I going to influence down the road? So Jay, I really appreciate your insight on that. Alex, you had your hand up, my man. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, same thing kind of with everything with regret. Excuse me. I used to live a lot in regret, right? And the choices I've made in my younger years. But you can't live like that, right? That's the one thing that people don't understand is that you got to learn from your mistakes and then take those things that you learn and make your life better, right? And so it is I started to put it like I said, you know, I would have never met my wife, I would have never had my child, I would have never had. So what do I have to regret? You know, those things I did all led to this culmination of where I'm at right now. So I mean, I accept life and I just do the best as I can, and you know, and we just roll with that.
I appreciate you sharing that. Culmination has been one of my favorite words this year, right? It's all the small things that we are doing, right? But also, if you look back at your life and be like, I didn't really create the things that I wanted to. It maybe is a culmination of the things that you failed to do, right? Or did not do. Let's remove the failed and say, what are the things that I did not do? What was the culmination of the things that I did not do? So really good stuff. I appreciate your insight on that. PK, go ahead. I see your hand up as well.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. I love this topic a lot because I think about it. I think a lot of the struggles that we have as humans is this fact that there is a moment that we live in today, there is a past, and then there's a future. Regret really comes from us being short-sighted and only thinking about right now, the pain that I'm going through right now, whether it's working out or diet or commuting and, you know, not sleeping because I'm doing X, Y, and Z, and not being able to see the future and like what reward it will bring. So I feel like if we're able to balance out going through the pain of today and getting through the necessary steps to getting us where we need to be in the future is really going to make us more stable and balanced as humans. Living too much into the future and planning too much will not allow you to enjoy your moment, and living too much in the past is not going to help you be able to build a future. So I think for me, it's this constant struggle between, okay, like live in the moment, but also not too much in the moment because there's a future that I need to plan for. And then also the past is really irrelevant. I just don't even think about the past, but it's really the today and then the tomorrow. But that's regret for me, because if I'm not thinking about, you know, if I'm too much here and like what I need right now in this moment, whether it's pain or pleasure, I will regret it in the future. Like, oh, why did I not do that? Or why did I do that? So that's how I, it's a timing thing.
This is good stuff, you guys. I heard something this morning and it really resonated with me. And, you know, a lot of times we try to look outwardly to find help for our problems that we're facing in our life and our business. And Tony Robbins said, participate in your own rescue, right? And it really, really hit home to me. It's like, participate in your own rescue, like get out there and change the things that you need to change in your life, change the behaviors, change your actions, change your habits, because you are the one that's going to ultimately be in control of that. So participate in your own rescue. That really, really resonated with me. I see a couple other hands up. Let's go to them. Let's see whose hands are up really quick. So Sylvia, did you want to chime in on that? Good stuff, PK.
Hi, for me, the pain, discipline means sacrifice. I would have to sacrifice something, and it is painful to make a decision to do something, and you have to be very committed and disciplined in order to do it. And then if I don't do it, then I would regret it. So if I don't make that sacrifice and be disciplined in what I'm trying to do, and if I don't do it, then ultimately I will regret it that I didn't do it.
Totally, absolutely. You guys, really, really good conversation. I want to shift gears, for a moment. You guys, I want to talk about ideas and simplicity, right? We're going to shift gears because I think that this is an important conversation to have for the next, little while. How many of you right now have a list of ideas and things that you want to launch in your business? Please raise your hand if you have a litany of things that you want to implement in your business. Please raise your hand. So I've said this and I'll say it again. The key to duplication is simplicity in this business. We have to keep things very, very simple. What I want you to do is I want you to funnel down your ideas of grandeur, and I'm sure you guys have some really, really great thoughts. I want you guys to pick your top 3 ideas right now, and I want you to go all in on those ideas, right? And I want you to, once you have done everything that you possibly can to get those things off the ground and running, you've launched your campaign, you've created your marketing piece, whatever it is, right? I want you to go all in on those 3. If those things don't seem to pan out for you, then of course, over time, we're with another 3. What we do is we get stacked with all these thoughts and ideas, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be a community advocate, and I'm going to be a tennis player because I want to be around the people that are bougie and are playing tennis. Like, there's all these reasons, right? So what I want you to first off is, what is your list right now? I want to hear some of your guys' thoughts and ideas, because I'm sure you guys have some fire ideas, but I want this to be the thought. Are my ideas that I could implement that could move my needle? Or are they just some ideas that I don't really have any measurable way to track that, right? What are some ideas right now that you guys want to launch that are going to move your needle? Let's talk about that. Let's have an open conversation for the next few minutes. Share with me what some of your thoughts and ideas are right now that you can implement in your business that will do this, that will move your needle upwards. Feel free to chime in. Anybody, I want to hear your guys' ideas.
So something that I implemented this week was a power hour. We know to do it, but we just have to put it on the calendar and do it. As I was in my power hour yesterday, I started getting phone calls from a past client and somebody random. Just, I guess, having the thought that I'm going to do it attracted other people to me. And so my power hour, so that just affirms that I need to do it. So my power hour, and just marketing things, simple marketing things, but I'm really focusing on the power hour, making those calls.
What times?
I was in the evening, 5 to 7.
Awesome. So power 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. And how long have you been in this game, Janique?
6 years this month.
And have you ever dedicated power hour, power 2 hours?
I've tried, but not dedicated.
Okay.
I guess I get nervous to do it in the morning because I don't want a call at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I feel more comfortable in the evening.
Okay, so let's stay there for a quick second. When you say, I don't want to call first thing in the morning, whose pocket are you selling out of? Yours or the consumer?
Yeah, I'm saying I don't want to receive a call that early in the morning.
No. So you don't, right?
Yes.
So you selling out of your own pocket, because I love getting a call at 9 o'clock in the morning. Like, I love that, right? 5 to 7, I might not like it. So until they say that was the wrong time to call me, don't ever call me at 9 o'clock in the morning, don't sell from your own pocket. But here's the thing. I love that you're doing this 5 to 7 and you're doing the power hour. So here she is. She's publicly declaring that she's going to create a power hour. So let's give her a round of applause. I love this shit, because I know what will come from you. And it already happened, right? It already happened. People are attracted to what you're doing. So I love it. What are some other ideas that you guys have right now that you want to implement in your business that are going to move your needle in a positive direction? So I'm writing these down. So power hour, love that. What else, you guys?
I can go. It's Sin.
Hi, Sin.
Hey. So I would say partnering up is the most critical thing that I've done in my business this year. Partnering with other agents so that I don't have to drive an hour has been huge. And I know that it's, it's 50% of my paycheck, but to me, it's worth it. And then something that's been really, really moving the needle forward is not leaving the initial appointment without setting the next appointment. I just don't do it anymore. I make sure that we have it scheduled and ready to go before I leave the client. And that has been huge. And that's something that I actually took away from group coaching.
I love that, Cynthia. And that's future casting with your clients. You know what it shares with them? It shares with them, I'm in control, and I'm going to lead you through this process. I got you. Here's what we're doing next. We're going to walk through that door. Please close the door behind you. Awesome. We're going to open up that next door, right? You're a leader throughout this process. And I think that's what setting the presentation does. And then setting the stage for comps and disclosures and RPA review and one last final huddle. So love that. All right, you guys, what are some other ideas I have? Power hour, partnering up. And I love this. it's 50% of her paycheck, but 50% of her time, right? Think about that. 50% more time with her husband means more memories, right? 50% more time that she can focus on her health means she lives a better, healthier, longer life, right? That she can share more memories with the people that she loves in her life. So shit, I'll give up that 50% any day of the week, right? All right, guys, what else? So partnering up, setting the buyer's appointment before that, or setting the next stage. What else, you guys? What are some?
I can go.
Go ahead. Ideas.
So after our farming session, when we discussed all the different ideas of farming and getting connected with your farm, wherever that is, I really decided to reach out to my community and get to know them and get involved. So yesterday, I was able to connect with a couple of the board members for the Montclair and Piedmont just neighborhood community groups, and had a conversation with them. I had 2 interviews yesterday with them, and we're going to meet this week. So the goal is that I'm going to be part of the community. I'm going to be not door knocking for them. And there's a big initiative going on for the PG&E undergrounding of the entire Oakland Hills, which really is the only way we can prevent the fires from like spreading if it ever sparks in this neighborhood. So it's a big initiative.
Wow.
I said I would door knock for you guys, and like that is my service to the community. And they were so excited. They were like, we're like older, we don't really want to do that. If you have the energy, do it. So it's like an idea started in our session, and I just kept on pushing it and talking to people. And finally yesterday I was able to find an actual way in, and I'm really excited about it because I've been wanting to build a farm here. And like, if I can actually impact and help the community, then I can actually build a brand for myself that's gonna.
I love it. What a great idea. And you guys, if you weren't at the farming session last week, feel free to pick anybody's brain that was there, have a side conversation with them, because there were so many great thoughts and ideas. There was so much energy in the room. And I've already seen, now PK is doing this. Christina D has delivered or is about to deliver thousands of flags for 4th of July. There's tons of things that are already happening. It's about movement, right? Motion, making sure that you're constantly in motion. It's one thing to have these ideas, but now it's about applying and implementing. So great stuff. Community, event, farming. I love it. What else, you guys? Give me some of your ideas. I want to hear them. I want to share with the masses. Who's going to
I'll go to live.
All right. So go ahead, Ryan. You chimed in first, brother.
All right. I'll keep it quick, but we've talked about, other agents have done it, the community spotlights, right? I love to eat, and there's restaurants that, have really, pre-pandemic, post-pandemic have really been innovative in how they've overcome that situation. They have a story to tell. So it's not just about, me getting my name out there in terms of me interviewing them, but these are stories I'm actually curious to know about. So that's one thing that today I'm actually going to hit up a couple of restaurants on social media and see if they would just be interested to talk about their genesis and where they're at now. So that's something that I think would move the needle because the name recognition at the end of the day. So
yeah, man. I love that. And I see some really good community spotlight videos, but I think I want to see a series. It's something that is consistent, right? And then you could take that to the next level, and you can go to the schools and talk to the teachers, talk to the principals, board of directors. Like, you can make this a really, really, strong campaign, and it doesn't cost you much money, right? You could set up your camera on a tripod and be like, all right, guys, I'm going to hit play. Just want to have an interview. I'm here with Mr. Johnson. He's the principal of XYZ school. We're going to talk about their journey and how they're going to get back into, in-person learning, all these things. So Ryan, I love that. Christina D, you had some thoughts you wanted to share?
Yes, and this is going to be obviously for a new agent. So as a new agent, I feel like I'm finally passing all the onboarding steps. So I am working, actually have implemented call block hours and learning how to navigate through Chime and started actually making my first few calls. So I've implemented that. Also, I'm working on a branding campaign for Poofy as a real estate dog. And then lastly, another thing that I was actually talking with the team in the office yesterday, Ryan gave me a great idea because I'm like, okay, now what? And he gave me the great idea of watching different YouTube videos of a day in the life of an agent so I can keep myself busy to start becoming productive and financially productive, I guess. So that's what I'm working on.
I love it. And my advice to you, Christina, is to take your top 3 and go all in on those, right? You have tons of great ideas and thoughts. Don't take on too much. You want to make sure that you're launching 3 that you can really track and measure. And I think that you're going to have really great success with this campaign that you're doing for 4th of July. Do you want to talk about that? Because we've been seeing on your social. Can you talk about that?
So I went to the dollar store, just an idea they got from you guys last week, and it's something that you shared with me as well. I just went to the dollar store, bought some flags, and then created a QR code that Jen shared the steps how to do on Slack. And then just bought these printing labels because I was going to order them online, but it's also like almost $100 to get them express shipped. So I went to Target. I spent, I think, $8 on labels, used my printer, put my name, my IG, a little bit about me, that I was like born and raised here in Castro Valley, that I went to all the schools here, and that I'm a homeowner and a local resident, and I would love to be their Castro Valley specialist on the sticker. And on the back, they can scan a QR code to get a free home analysis. And what I'm doing today is taking my child, again, tips that you shared last week. He has a little 4th of July flag. I'm taking my mom. I have a little flag. I'm sorry. Poofy, stop. No, sorry. I'm dropping off Poofy to daycare. And I'm going to be basically walking around a farm in Castro Valley that I got from Alicia and introducing myself as a new local real estate agent. And Poofy, the pod tour, is going to be tagging along.
I mean, how like we had one meeting last week and she's already doing things and applying herself. And look, she hasn't spent much money, right? You know, she's obviously got to spend a little bit of money to start making, but you guys, least amount of money, huge return or potential for return. So I love it. You guys, what else are some ideas? You know what I was thinking about today? If you're newer in the game, you guys should spend some time doing some interviews with some of these top agents in the business. I don't care what company they're with. You have an opportunity to say, hey, you know, I'm new in real estate and, you know, I'm surrounded by tons of great people, great minds, great thoughts, but I want to interview all the top agents throughout the Bay Area because I want to be able to provide these successes not only for myself, but for other people in the community that are starting this journey. That shit will catch fire, you guys. You sit down and do an interview with the, you know, Kate McCaffrey or Herman Chan, those things are going to catch fire, right? And so tons of things that you guys can do. And let's hear some other thoughts and ideas. And don't be shy. Because I know your minds are going, your minds are going, your minds are going. So use this platform so we can share and everyone can learn from each other. Nothing else?
Well, I have another thing that I've been working on.
Thank you, Christina.
So just to piggyback on what you said, I've been researching top agents in our area. And I actually have a meeting scheduled with Brooks Landry because I want to know how he's getting all these listings, and I don't want to make rookie agent mistakes and waste time and money. So I said, hey, I'd love to just meet with you. If you don't mind, I don't want to waste my time and make mistakes. Would you be open to meeting with me or letting me shadow? So reaching out to different top agents to see their different styles and approaches.
Cool. I love it. I love it, you guys. I mean, and you know what? Top agents are down. Well, a lot are down to share their thoughts and their secrets, you know, because it puts them on a pedestal and lets, you know, the public see them even more and shine them even brighter. So I love this. What else, you guys? Any other thoughts, ideas that are brewing in your mind that you guys want to share with the masses? Or you just need someone to tell you, you know, that's a great idea or that's a little crazy. So any other thoughts or ideas?
Well, I have something.
What's up, David? Go ahead, my man.
I said this earlier, but I really think doing stuff in my own building. You know, I live in an apartment building of 2 to 3 units. People are making good money here. It's not the cheapest rent. So kind of just doing a renter's pre-buyers consultation. Focusing on renters was something that in the farming meeting was brought up that I did not think about. People who weren't even don't know that they want to buy. They're comfortable in their place, but kind of just pushing them in the right direction, highlighting different opportunities that they have, and focusing kind of just people who see me in the elevator, see me in the gym and stuff like that. You know, my own immediate community in the renting group that I'm a part of right now.
Totally. I love it. I love it. You know, it's like it's almost like I got you. We mentioned this in the farming class last week. It's like the movement. Have you heard of it? What movement? The No Renter Left Behind movement.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't heard anything about that. Well, here's what I'm doing. My name is David Hiller. I'm educating people in this community on how to become homeowners, or at least what steps to take in order for you guys to be there. And also, here's all the resources for down payment assistance, grants, and all these things within the community that will help you. Also, here's a list of credit repair people if you guys fall into that bucket as well. I'm here to help. My name is David. Looking forward to serving you, whether it's now or 2 years down the road, right? That shit's powerful. Not too many agents are doing that, right? What are they doing? Absentee owners, people have lived in their home for 50 years or 10 years or more with positive equity. Notice of 2 stories, but they're 55 years of age or older, right? So you guys, tons of ideas. And David, I think that you have something really, really powerful. I think that you have a great opportunity to influence. Good stuff. Who else has some thoughts and ideas? Please share. Go ahead and take the mic.
I'll go.
Go ahead.
First of all, shout out to Christina D. She just got her license. We never met. I feel like I'm learning from her.
Sorry, we're good. We're good, Jay.
Yeah, I was saying I feel like I'm learning from her, even though she's a new agent. And what she just said about reaching out to top agents. When I was at KW, I was in a class with the top KW agent in Alameda County who was just crushing it. And it was the first time I'd come across an agent who just gave away all of his materials, all of his marketing, everything. And it was, as a new agent, pretty cool. And he said this, he said, look, I'll tell you everything, anything you want, I'll give it to you. And it's not just because I'm such a nice guy. It's because 99% of you won't even do it. That's why I'm number one, is I'll do the steps. That blew my mind.
Totally.
And the truth is, in that class, in that brokerage, nobody did the stuff he was doing, really. This is a different situation. So yes, folks, reach out to anyone. Don't be intimidated by anything. You have a question from someone, ask it. They give you the answer. If you can't do it, I guarantee you someone on this team will partner with you and make you do it. Peace.
Ooh, love it. Mic drop. So you guys, just do the work, right? Do the work, right? Outwork every motherfucker out there right now, right? Be like, I have an idea. Cool. I put it on paper. I put it on my calendar. Here's the action steps. Here's my execution date. And I'm going to go all in on that, right? I'm going to funnel these great ideas down into this, and I'm going to go all in, and I'm going to focus all my time, effort, and energy on those things, right? You guys can do that. Like I said, simplicity is the key to duplication in this business. You guys can take the simplest of things and run with it, and then watch how that's going to help you grow. I think the things that I'm hearing from the community sponsored event, the dogs, the PG&E, farming, working in this building, going after the renters, the power hour, partnering up, setting the buyer's consultation. You got a real estate dog, community spotlight. You guys, these are all great ideas. But what I want to see is that action. I want to see that. Hey, Melody, can you mute yourself? Okay, I know. I needed her. So I love this conversation, you guys, and I want to make sure that we are moving your guys' needle, right? Every one of you has your own journey, your own path, the way that you guys do things, the way you communicate, the way that you want to convey your message. But I want this, and I'm glad that PK brought this up in our community. Do enough people right now know your brand, right? PK just launched her own logo. I think it's really, really dope. But do enough people know your brand right now? If you're going down the aisle of chips, does your brand of chips stand out? And people, oh yeah, I know them. I know that. This is about being omni. And I use that word, you guys, because I truly believe that this business is about being omni. All consuming everywhere. And they think about real estate, man, they're going to think about Jay. When they think about real estate, they're going to think about Kelly O'Gorman. They're going to say Jack Stegner. Oh yeah, we know Jack Stegner, big real estate mogul in this area. Yep. If we want to sell our house, we're going to Jack Stegner, right? So you guys, I love this conversation today. I want to go around the room. I want to hear some of your key takeaways from today's session. PK, make sure to share your logo with everyone because people want to see that. Actually, you can, once you get it pulled up, I'll give you share screen rights. You can share it with everyone. But let's hear from some people for some key takeaways. Let's go over to nicolekappel. What was some of your key takeaways from today's session?
This is a slight deviation of what we're talking about, but you started the call talking about hype. And I really would like to reframe hype. Yeah, we're built on hype. We hype each other up. We're each other's hype person. So next time we hear that, I think that's a good thing. Bring it. Why does that have to be a negative? So
Totally. Yeah, I don't think it's negative at all, but I do believe that motivation is fleeting. We could all go to a seminar and hear some great shit. We could all go to a training class, hosted by Mel, hosted by myself, and be like, ooh, powerful stuff. But if I don't do anything after that, and I don't have actions and habits that support that motivation, then that motivation is just fleeting and goes out the window. So Nicole, totally agree with you. Let's go to Rebecca. Rebecca, what were some of your key takeaways from today's session together? Okay, Rebecca is still on mute.
I was away from my phone, but my key takeaways were for sure just like in my mind, just to put away the difference between the disciplinary pain and what that means to me. So it's a lot of growing pains at the end, and it's not comfortable, but it's progress, and I'll take progress. So yeah, that's what I took in. It was a really powerful, very powerful meeting today. So thank you all. You guys are all great.
Love it. Love it. Gabrielle, takeaways from today's session.
Yeah, I would say that I think we all know we always have a lot of ideas of things we want to do. And it's a good idea to narrow that down into, one or two things and actually do it. I know that's my problem. I have a lot of apprehension and hesitation to do something because I like to be like very prepared before I even, take the first step. But that's not always the best strategy, I'm learning. So definitely just doing it and being okay with, maybe some amount of failure, because you'll have those small wins too that will, take over the small failure. So yeah, that's the key takeaway.
Well, I'm hoping to see some real estate videos created from you live and direct from your roller skates, skating into people's lives with great information about the real estate industry. I can't wait to see that stuff. So let's go over to Aaliyah. Aaliyah's takeaways from today's session together.
Usually do this.
Can you hear me?
We can, loud and clear. Like the lights too.
Thank you. So one takeaway that I had today is putting action behind your ideas. That's like one of my main struggles. And hearing your guys's ideas and as well as the actions that you're putting into place to make those ideas a reality is just really exciting me. And yeah, it's making me want to move forward.
Yeah, that's right. I love it. I love it. Melissa Cuevas, first time in group coaching. I want to hear what your takeaways were from today's session. So Melissa, take the mic for a quick sec. Melissa going once. There she is.
I think simply put, the pains of regret outweigh the pains of discipline.
Okay. Awesome. And Melissa, we really appreciate you being here. Welcome to the team. And thanks for jumping right in. Let's hear from two other people. Ryan, what were some of your takeaways from today's session, my brother?
Man, I think not only leaning on the team we have here and all these resources, but Christina just reaching out to people outside of our team for that knowledge is, look, man, do all the R&D you can and bring it back to the tribe. And at the end of the day, like you said, execution is king. Ideas are worth their weight, but once you put it on paper and actually start putting points up on the board, then that's how you become a genius, not just by thinking about it.
Love it. I love it, my man. Let's head over to Miss Terry Daniel. Terry Daniel, takeaways from today's session, and I'm going to have you take us off the field with some words of inspiration and encouragement for our day. So Miss Terry, take it away.
Starting from the beginning. Hello, everybody. Starting from the beginning, just basically reflecting on regret and discipline. I basically would have to say everybody's comments kind of hit it on the nail, but I think we have to look at regret as negativity and we have to stay focused on positivity. So that was my first take on that conversation. And then as far as what a lot of the people like PK and Christina doing as far as figuring out the steps for making this real estate world work, they're definitely on the right track with the resources from the team. But as we end this meeting, I think I have to share with everybody that you have to continue to plan, train, but most importantly, what Eliza is trying to get everybody to understand, it has to be implemented. You can sit and talk with the top producer all day. You can go out and make this beautiful business card and postcard, but if it doesn't go anywhere, it's for naught. So that's what I would share with everybody today. Plan, continue to train, but it has to be implemented. And I say that for myself too.
I love it. I love it. So you guys, once again, thank you. For everybody that is attending the session today, we will see you in Walnut Creek. We're going to be doing those sessions regularly. I'm actually going to do twice a month on Fridays in lieu of our general training. We'll talk more about that, but super stoked for today's session. But you guys, thank you for once again bringing the fire, bringing the heat. I love everything that you guys say every time you guys speak. So these sessions are about you. Hopefully you feel that, and we're going to continue to grow these sessions. So keep it moving. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you guys very soon. Thank you for everything that you do.